Hello, everyone. Kyle Riesenbeck here from UploadVR, and you are in my house. This is the Hyperscape scan that I did of the first floor of my home a couple days ago, and we uploaded it to their Meta's servers, and this is the result. And I've introduced David Heaney to my lovely home here. David, hi, welcome to our house for the first time ever.
This is a crazy feeling to have essentially teleported into your home, seeing you as an avatar, you being able to guide me around. And as we both noted, the quality here is definitely lower than it was in the solo scans, which are cloud rendered. But this one, this Hyperscape world, is rendered on device on the Quest headsets. So it seems like that's the trade-off needed to get them to be shareable and social.
Yes, so when this was first announced that there was going to be shareability of the Hyperscape worlds through Horizon, I went and scanned my home. We were excited to find out that that scan looks amazing. It was, I mean, really, I would say several orders of magnitude better than the quality we're going to see here today. But we had to rescan because the mechanism, I guess, to bring these Hyperscapes into Horizon worlds, I don't know, I guess requires a different mechanism. And so it needs to be, I guess, a little bit more pliable. I'm sure David could probably explain it better than me.
Well, they're rendering on device now, so that is a big challenge to do this on a mobile chipset. Why don't you show us around while I'm talking about this? Because it's so surreal to be in your home. I'm seeing your Ray-Ban Meta glasses there. Over here, I was seeing your Samsung Galaxy XR, your History of the Future book. Even though the quality is lower, and we keep noting that, I still have this feeling that I've teleported into your home, and you can still see kind of distinct details in this place. And we could invite up to 6 other people here. And, if you were to share this link publicly, anyone could join in, because these are Horizon worlds. These are a special type of Hyperscape world. You can't currently make them public, so you do have to share the link. But this is something that anyone can jump into instantly. They don't need to download your scan. They can even do it on mobile on the Meta Horizon app, which is a strange experience as well.
I was very surprised at some of the details that were achieved with this process. I mean, I will say right now, obviously, lighting is a big deal. I did this scan at night. You can tell because you can look out the window of my door and see that it's dark out. Light is really important. The better quality, I think, will come with better lighting. But some of this is actually very uncanny, David. I mean, when you look at, my bar here, you can actually see individual glasses and the decor and everything. And obviously, my little duck friend here, Nigel Puddlesworth, turned out quite nice. It's there's a lot of details. We have a nice, fun, eclectic collection of stuff in our house, and so yeah, we actually have the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and I don't know if you saw this one over here, David. There's another one over here in the corner.
The Razer Hydra controllers from a decade ago.
Yes.
Over a decade now. That is a very obscure pull for VR.
It really is. It really is. I was quite surprised at the quality of some of these things and how they turned out. You can actually even squat down and see the tops of these containers.
Oh, wow.
And it just, it
automatically adjusts my height. Unfortunately, this is a Horizon Worlds
I know,
thing.
me too.
Doesn't really let you squat, but it's still interesting to see.
Right.
And I guess if I were to look up your stairs, what I see just the start of the upstairs. Not that I can go.
Yeah.
I can.
You can
lightly
start to go up.
Yeah. And then it kind of goes into smudgy background detail. It'll be interesting to see if at one point you do a daytime scan with the windows open, because one thing I've really noticed about some of these scans is it's remarkable to look outside and see some of the kind of detail out there. And you get that example here when you're looking upstairs. I don't think as part of the scan you walked upstairs. No?
I stopped here. I just stepped right here, and whatever it could see is what, I just made something occur. I guess I just, So, yay, parade up the steps. Yeah, no, and you can see the artifacts of where it kind of just decided to say, okay, there's a wall, there's a feeling, we don't know. It's pretty interesting. I was actually there's another over if you go over here and turn left around the corner where the
Oh wow.
bathroom door is. There's actually another Easter egg, a couple Easter eggs back here. So if you look at on the door, hanging off of the door handle to the left of you,
Mm-hmm.
the next door over, next door over.
Oh, here.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Do you see that hanging off of there?
I see it,
That's a
but
cap and crunch whistle.
oh, of course, Captain Crunch whistle. Yeah, you can really sort of see the detail not be fully kept there at this scan resolution, but it's still, once you tell me, I can notice it. And I immediately was thinking you were referring to this kind of Oculus, uh, yeah, logo here.
It's a like a wrist fitness thing. Yeah, I actually think the magnets, my little wall of magnets of places we've been, actually turned out quite nice. I mean, there's enough detail you can actually see where
Yeah,
they're
I
all
can
from.
recognize a lot of these.
Yeah,
Yeah, Washington, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas up there, the Duff Beer here. It's the iHeart NY. That's keeping more quality than I would have expected. It
yeah.
seems that I imagine you maybe got quite close during the capture. Um,
Well, I
but
wasn't
even
sure what that. There's no real best practices on how far away you want to be because obviously if you get too close, it can't focus correctly. So there has to be a sweet spot, and I feel like that's data that we need to hear from Meta in terms of best practices for this. Or maybe we have to write it, David.
I wonder how long did the scan take from your perspective? Did it feel like it took a very long time to get this space because it's quite large?
Well, it continuously tells you when you scan to slow down, go slow, don't make the pictures blurry. And so I tried really hard to move at a reasonable pace where I wasn't wasting time, but I don't know. I feel like it was about 20 minutes for the first full scan, and I was very thorough. And then you have to go back and do it again where you capture detail, and then you have to do it again where you capture the ceiling. And so at the end of it all, I would say under 40 minutes total. But I was really thorough. I mean, I was, laying on the ground and I was trying to get everything that I could to be as detailed as possible. But yeah, I mean, it turned out again. This is fantastic. I could have a very poor vision person to my home and into this, and they would probably feel like it was the same
Yeah,
experience.
I recall that when I tried the higher fidelity experience that's solo only, that I kind of thought this could be passed through. And you could, if someone had never seen your home before and you put it on their head and they didn't have very good vision, you could maybe trick them into thinking that they were looking through some sort of pass through system.
Absolutely, yeah. I did spend a lot more time on like this cabinet specifically. I spent a lot of time on this because there's so many things inside. This is glass. And so and inside of it there's, uranium glass and translucent things and opaque things. And I was really kind of amazed at the quality of all of this stuff. Any plant that we had, even the wrinkles in the pillows on the couch were just surprising. I guess I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I am very surprised.
Yeah, no, it is remarkable how each object does seem to kind of retain its character, for lack of a better word. There's nothing that kind of looks like it's completely the wrong material. Like you feel like you could perhaps reach out and grab the pillow. Of course, that is the one big disadvantage of this Gaussian splatting. None of this is interactive. I can't just pull out one of these objects. This is for all of its benefits, it is a static scene and it can be used for kind of showing someone around somewhere, but we can't turn this into a VR game yet, at least. In theory, this is a Horizon world. At some point, it should be possible to add virtual objects on top of here, right? To go over here and add some virtual objects on the kitchen table that we could pick up and you could make some sort of game out of your home. It's really interesting to think of what the potential future possibilities here are.
Yeah, and we were discussing earlier about the because I live in this home, I can stand in this room right here. If I could line this up perfectly 1 to 1, then I could come over here to the couch and sit and actually sit, as opposed to not, hurting myself.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like something that should be technically possible already, in the same way that the system recognizes your Guardian boundary and your mixed reality room mesh setup. It should, in theory, be able to recognize the position of this relative to your real room. it seems like it's not something they would prioritize because they want to use kind of thumbstick movement. But you could imagine, as you're describing, a room scale version of this, where, as you say, you're sitting on that couch in real life and in the Hyperscape, and then you wouldn't need to push the thumbstick. You would just walk around your real home and kind of give someone a tour at the same time. Now, the obvious problem there, of course, is that if any furniture has moved or objects have moved, you might bump into things, and that might be their concern. Um, in the very, very long term, you could imagine some sort of dynamically updating Gaussian splat. This is very far out, but you could imagine you have the reference scan, and as you're walking around your home, the dynamic objects kind of update in real time. That's where I think we want to eventually be, and that's where you get this true idea of seamlessly teleporting into someone's home. Although what we have today is still, I keep saying over and over, remarkable, and it does in many ways feel like I've teleported into your home.
Yeah, yeah, there are several things that are really intrigue me about this, like candle wick, the detail of some of like the books and some of the stuff on my wife's antique racks here. Like, here's a stereoscope. I mean, this is an old school stereoscope. This is part, yeah. Funny enough, that was part of her collection before even we met. That was already something that was in her collection. So she's been collecting antiques for years. So a lot of the stuff you see is stuff that she kind of brought with her to the mix. And I mean, even just the pictures of the family and some nature stuff that we've got. It's just good enough that you can recognize people.
That is
It's
remarkable,
not,
actually, how
yeah,
well these photos are kept up.
yeah,
That's you would have expected them to lose the kind of essence, but they haven't. It is just like having a little bit lower vision than usual or something like that, and the shoes as well. I was just thinking,
yeah,
you're getting the full 3D depth of it, and maybe this might not come across this to people that are watching, but I'm moving my head, and these look the same shape, even though they do have this kind of muddy low detail thing going on that's kind of typical of Gaussian splatting in most cases. It's still absolutely is obvious to me that these are shoes.
yeah. Right. I mean, there are so many little things. Well, here I'll even be. I'll share something very embarrassing. Over here on the wall, we had a incident where this chair ended up just really ruining this wall right here. And so when we paint, this is something that I'll have to do this over again so I can remove this from permanent existence in the metaverse. That chair screwed up that wall, and so I haven't painted that. But yeah, I mean, the detail on some of this stuff, like this is actually a painting. So to see this rendition of a painting, it's even more artsy now than it used to be. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that is wild. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for this tour into your home. This is, I'm sure, a very strange moment for you to give a tour like this. I've never
Yep.
been to your home in person, but now I feel like I have. And yeah, let's keep using this as a reference when we get future systems like this to scan your home and come back and see how much higher quality, and we can compare these details between systems going forward in the future.
Well, great. Well, I'll try to keep the house clean then, so all the scans are pretty similar.